I'm George from MovieWeb, and it's great to be here and talk to you guys about this really funny movie. I just want to start, there is not enough comedy out there. It's genuinely funny, I laughed a lot. And why is it so hard, or is it so hard to get comedy through that, genuinely balances comedy, a little humanity, a little other genre? This is a tricky thing you guys pulled off, and you did. So maybe we'll start with Billy, but just kind of talk to that a little bit.
I really appreciate you saying that. I mean, that was our goal from the beginning, was to have humanity and comedy and horror all weaved into one thing and never have one thing outweighing another. We grew up just loving comedy movies. That was sort of what we all bonded over, was these classic coming-of-age comedies or ensemble comedies. And you're right, there aren't enough. It seems to be a bit of a
dying.
Or
dry spell.
Yeah, dry spell for comedy and for theatrical comedy.
Breed, I don't know why.
Maybe it's a dead breed.
Yeah.
It's there's not enough.
Well, it can be brought back.
That's what I'm saying.
We brought it up. But that's why I'm so excited that Neon has committed to a theatrical release with this film, because I think seeing comedy in theaters is so important. And almost all of my favorite movie-going experiences is as a kid were going to comedies with my friends. So
absolutely, and also you guys are young, and the movie cast is young, and there's an energy about that's coming through. I want to ask Finn a little bit about, Fred's character Jason is kind of returning to camp. He's a little old for it. I couldn't help but think your camp has kind of been Stranger Things for a while.
Yeah.
Was there a little bit of that, or the keep going back home and I'm outgrowing this? And can you tell us a little bit about growing with that and evolving in it?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I feel like now that I'm thinking about it, now you said that, I do actually feel like I am the Jason of the Stranger Things cast. I really do, because I'm always the one that's the optimist, and I'm always the one that's just trying to hang with everyone and do stuff. And yeah, no, I mean, I think weirdly that was sort of last year. I don't think I ever thought I'm too old for this. This is crazy. But you get to a point where you've done a show for 10 years and you feel as though the story is wrapping up. So that was last year, and yeah, it was. I mean, it definitely. It's funny that it's become actually. At least for me, more, the Hell of a Summer for me has actually become more relatable as I've gotten older. When we wrote it, I was writing it from the perspective of our characters, which is we were,
right.
And even though only 22, I was only 16 when we wrote it. So I was in the headspace of a 16-year-old, and now I'm in the headspace of a 22-year-old who's now out of high school, who now is obviously working and stuff, but still you're at a point where you developmentally you're not really supposed to know what's going on or why you're here or where you're going to go next.
This is really good writing for 16.
Oh,
I mean, it would be good for anybody, but I didn't realize, but it makes sense.
Well, it was a lot of rewrites over time, and Billy was 19 at the time, so probably the smart.
The smart
writing was the old. He was the old guy. Yeah.
The jaded age of 19.
Yeah, exactly.
You used your instead of you.
I feel Fred, I've seen you in a lot lately. I had no idea how funny you could be. This is hilarious, this character. Can you talk a little bit about how, because it's not we've never seen this character type entirely, but you bring something, he's fresh in a way, and it's just so funny, I couldn't get enough of it. I want to hear about you guys all kind of collaborating on him, because he's, he is the character, really.
Well, thank you. That really means a lot to me. I also share the love of comedy that we're talking about, and also just love. It's funny, but sometimes even if you're playing a character, you still have a love of them that feels separate or something. They inspire you, and I found him pretty immediately inspiring once I read the script and once we started talking about him, and it also just through the development of it all, through every costume choice, through improvs, through each day, you also, any relationship, kind of learn who this person is, and you find their quirks and their isms, and it was such a pleasure.
He's very sweet. He's a great hero. You played a pretty intense villain earlier in this year.
George, we just got about a minute left.
Okay,
so.
great.
Okay.
Thank you. You played a really intense villain. Timing-wise, I don't know when it happened in terms of shooting it, but in Gladiator 2, and kind of a villain in Nickel Boys a little bit too. And I'm curious, like, you get to going back and forth. Like, was this a relief kind of? And what were those experiences like on those big? Well, Nickel Boys not, but on Gladiator, massive project, and then something like this.
I think at the end of the day, you're there to be the character and to give all the dignity in life to that person. And something that was like, just immediate and amazing about Hell of a Summer is that the way that Jason is a hero is not like this big different part of himself. It's like he's a hero through his messiness, through his kind of stubbornness to try and just always do the right thing, and he doesn't like suddenly turn into a classic action star.
Right.
He continues to be himself, and that's what's heroic about it. And so I felt that was really important for the movie.
Thanks, though, guys.
Thank you so
man.
much, man.
Yeah.
Thank you.